All right. Hey guys, we're live. Brittany's with me. How's everyone doing tonight? I see the chat is already hopping. Brittany, sorry, if you can't see the chat, there's on the sidebar, you'll see where it says private and live. Yeah, click the live and you'll be able to see it. And if you want to respond to it, you'll have to open it on your phone, unfortunately, to respond to it. So that kind of sucks, but yeah, hello friends. I see lots of friends in the chat. Thank you everyone for joining. Yes, I am here with Brittany, who is Sierra_chic on Instagram. You can find her there. And we're going to talk about reselling, being an essential employee, and Instacart, which I think is like the most fascinating thing right now. So thank you for joining me.
Yeah, I'm excited. I've never done like a YouTube live stream before, so.
Well, it's pretty simple. Like, you don't have to have stage fright because you can't see anybody.
I know.
Okay, so for those who might not know you, do you want to give us the rundown of who you are, what you do for work, as much as you're comfortable or willing to say?
Yeah. So my name is Brittany, and on Instagram it's Sierra Chic. I'll start full-time. My full-time job, I am a childcare director in the Seattle area, greater Seattle area. And then on the side of that, I am a reseller, part-time on Poshmark. I started on Mercari not too long ago. And then I've been into eBay for the last couple of years. And then on the side of that, I've now started doing Instacart, and 99% I love Instacart. Like, it's just like somebody said in the comments, it's my jam right now.
Oh yeah, who said it? Who else is doing it? It's probably Lisette, because I think Lisette is doing Instacart also. She's Miss New England Betty Boop. Yeah. Oh yeah, here we go. Yeah, she said that. Instacart. She's also been doing it like you. Okay, so talk to me, because I follow you on Instagram and I watch all your stories. Talk to me about your regular job as a child care director and being an essential employee, because I think a lot of times when we hear essential employee right now, we're thinking of like hospital workers or people who work in clinics, which of course we appreciate those people. Maybe people who work at the post office, but childcare. I mean, I think maybe some people will be surprised to hear that the childcare is operating in some capacity.
Yeah. So, school shut down, I want to say, in Washington. For those of you who are not in Washington, hello from Washington. They shut down here, I want to say, around March 13th. And so I'm a rollaway program. So what that means is we're inside of the school, but we don't have our own center. So we're based in a gym inside of a school. I'm not going to say the exact location. It's greater Seattle area. And so once school shut down, we were also not allowed back in the school. So I am at a different site right now in Seattle, kind of like the Ballard Green Lake area. And so it's definitely been, our company's been using the word ever-changing, and I definitely agree with that. At first, it was kind of a scramble to get everything together, because there are 3 or 4 sites that are not in the school. They have like a portable. So we're in a portable right now, and we have super low numbers. Usually the state licensing capacity is 1 teacher for every 15 students. And so right now, I think we bumped it down to like 1 to 8. But we have 4 teachers right now and 5 kids. So we've definitely shifted schedules. So right now it's really nice. I only work half days, because even with the low numbers and high teachers, it's still such a long day, because we have to social distance these kids. We have to constantly, we're saying, okay, 6 feet, XYZ, 6 feet, you have to stay 6 feet, and we have to sanitize all day long. Like, we have an abundance of gloves and cleaning supplies, and just constantly all day we have to remind these poor kids, like, you have to stay away from each other, you can't touch each other. So it's definitely been a challenge. We'll say that. And unfortunately, we did have to lay a couple people off, part-time staff. So they kept all the childcare directors, fortunately. And I know there's a couple other childcare programs open. So we are one of them. But yeah, it's definitely been a challenge. And people don't think that childcare is like a special job. They think of grocery store employees or like people at Starbucks, because Starbucks is still open, or like first responders. But they definitely don't think of childcare when they think of like essential workers. So
yeah. So keeping the children apart, that sounds, I know when you've posted about it before, I'm like, how the heck do you keep kids apart? So do you guys have, and again, you can say whatever you're comfortable with saying, do you guys have, are the kids wearing like masks and gloves?
So they are not. And then we will wear a mask periodically. It's kind of whatever people are comfortable with. Some people are like, we've been with the same kids for the past month and a half, and nobody has any symptoms. The parents are all first responders, and so biologists, scientists working in like touch or children's and like different hospitals. And so we're already confident they are following social distancing guidelines and being safe, making safe choices, and not going into the group. So for the most part, we are not wearing masks all day. We will put them on periodically, but we definitely wear gloves to like clean, like take the trash out, everything like that, and mop. So
yeah. And I guess when all of this first started, I have to imagine that you were probably stressed about, I don't know, I feel like I would be stressed about taking care of children of first responders, just in terms of like, what am I going to get?
Yeah. So, I mean, definitely when we first shut down the schools, it was a scramble in the admin office in Ballard, with like the upper administration trying to figure out like, hey, what do we do next? And then we did have a certain number of staff who stayed, and we did end up leaving or end up cutting some staff because they weren't needed for the amount of kids that we have. And there was that concern initially on like, I don't know where these kids have been. But I will say our CEO and our upper admin, they did a really, really, really thorough and great job at doing a cleaning outline, reminding families that you can only come if you are first responder families. First, we did it interorganizational, I think that's a word, but people in our organization already. And then we did open it up to a couple families like outside of the organization. So there was that initial, like, I'm not sure about this. I don't know if I want to do this.
Right.
But there's a ton of stuff set in place to ensure our safety. And then I don't know if this is going to be a question later or if people have questions in the comments, but fortunately we are also getting hazard pay, which is really nice.
So what does that mean? What is hazard pay?
So hazard pay, I'm not an expert, but basically if you are an essential worker right now, or if you're being put in harm's way, essentially, like we're at risk, higher risk for contracting COVID. So they are paying us for working during this time, essentially.
Wait, sorry, they're paying you for what?
So they're paying us what they would regularly pay us, and then they're paying hazard pay on top of that. So it's really paying us for working, but also like working in these conditions.
Got it. Hopefully it's a healthy amount or a decent amount.
Yes. It makes it. Yes.
Yeah. It makes being around lots of little children not wearing gloves.
Yes.
Yeah. Okay.
Really washing their hands. Like I can't even tell you how dry my hands have been. Like we bought some lotion for the site too, and like at home, and so I've been lotioning and washing all day, every day.
Well, that's just the thing. I mean, just in general, I've not worked at a daycare place before, but I have taken a child who's attended one, and it's a pretty germy place. I mean, even under normal circumstances, I just can't even imagine keeping up with the cleaning. That's got to be so difficult. Did you guys struggle to get supplies at all, or had you already had supplies?
Yeah, so actually right now, I'm not gonna lie, we are struggling to get like Lysol wipes, like the bleach wipes.
Mhm.
Um, we actually had a lot of bleach, like the
Mhm.
bottled.
Yeah.
They were able to get gloves, and then so hand sanitizer and Lysol, like the bleach wipes, are two things that we are struggling to get right now. We actually
Mhm.
placed a huge order on discount school supply. So if any of you are teachers or work with children, that's like a huge website that people order from. So we did try to order from discount school supply. It's been
Mhm.
pending a month. So I don't know if we're going to actually get it,
Whoa.
but I was able to order for all of our sites. I think I ordered like 30 hand sanitizers. And
Wow.
yeah, so they haven't come quite yet. So yeah, Lysol wipes and hand sanitizer. We're
Yeah, I
almost.
haven't seen Lysol wipes in like since
I
March, like
saw
in the stores.
I saw them yesterday morning when I was doing Instacart. And
Oh,
I was,
well, that makes sense. That I was going to ask about that. Yeah, I was like, you might see them if you're doing that early. Okay,
yeah.
so let's talk about Instacart. You know, wait, hold on real quick. Are you drinking a Red Bull Italian soda?
Yes, I am. I
I
am.
knew it. I saw that. That's so Washington. You were posting about that the other day, weren't you? Okay,
I
so
think it was yesterday.
yeah, so for anybody who doesn't know, Brittany put in her Instagram stories yesterday that basically you're from the Northwest if you know what a Red Bull Italian soda is, because we have like these little coffee stands up here that sell them. And it's essentially a Red Bull on ice. You can add flavoring to it if you like a syrup flavor like raspberry or strawberry or whatever those. And then they add half and half and whipped cream on top. And if it sounds really dumpy, that's because it's delicious.
Yes. It's terrible for you, and you're probably going to be up all night.
I mean, there's other worse things that people could ingest, in my opinion. You know, like Red Bull's not great, but smoking is worse, right?
Yes, it is, in my
So there you
opinion.
go. Okay, so let's talk about Instacart because, when did you start and why did you think to start doing it?
Yeah, so I started Instacart. I want to say I've been doing it. Let me actually see.
Yeah, check it out. That's the beauty of having our technology with us. And I also have lots of questions that people have sent to me in the past 24 hours on Instagram for you. So I'll ask those as well.
So I did not start on my birthday. Hold on a second. So my birthday was April 6th. It says I started on Saturday, April 11th.
Okay.
So almost a month. It's like 3 weeks, I think.
Yeah.
2.5.
Okay. So you've been doing it for about 3 weeks. You're doing it really consistently. I mean, it seems like every day you're out there doing it, sometimes with your boyfriend also.
Husband. Yes.
Husband, sorry.
No, you're good. I don't ever wear my ring. I am married. We are married. I never
No,
wear my ring.
I
Uh,
don't either.
yeah. So I started on April 11th,
Okay.
and I got into it. I will plug Reezy, Reezy
Yep.
Resells. If anybody follows him, I was
Yeah.
actually scrolling through Instagram, and I had heard of Instacart, and I had like seen thumbnails on like YouTube about Instacart, and I think I'd seen other people talk about it on their stories, and I was like, well. And then I saw Reezy. I feel bad because I didn't use his referral code. I just signed up.
It
Uh,
happened.
Girl, yes. See, I don't wear my wedding
Oops.
ring. I
That went away.
fully trust each other, Yeah. But I saw his story and he was super into it, and I was like,
Mhm.
I'll try it. Because we had gone from working full days, like I think we were working 8 hours
Mhm.
in a day, and now like my regular job, and now we're down. My hours are like 12 until close or until the last person leaves.
Yeah.
So I started doing it in the mornings after I drop my husband off at work. I go straight to Seattle. So if you guys live in the Seattle area, I drop him off in Kirkland, kind of a far drive, Kirkland, and then I drive into Seattle around Green Lake. And then I just go straight into Instacart until I have to go to work, pick up lunch for the kids from the school district, and then go into work. Excuse me. And I'm not trying to brag, but I've made so much money. Like I have paid $1,000 on one of our cars that we're trying to pay off. I think within the last week. So
Whoa, that's exciting.
Yeah.
That's so awesome. Okay, wait, I had questions. Yeah, you're in the South End, aren't you?
Yeah, so we are in the Fairwood area right now. It's like an offshoot of Renton.
Okay, got it. Yeah. So you're kind of driving, you're going Renton to Kirkland, which is already a jaunt. And then
Yeah.
you're going Kirkland to Seattle. I mean, anybody who lives in this area kind of is like, oh, okay, so she's going that way. Because I see where you're ending up is like then at your workplace. Okay.
Yeah.
So that's smart though. Okay. So you're taking him to work. Then you're heading over to kind of the North Seattle area. So what's it like? So what time are you starting? Like, what time are you opening the app in the morning? Walk us through. What does it look like?
Yeah, so I drop him off. He has to be at work by 7:30. Sometimes we'll get there right by 7:30, and then I zoom over to Seattle. I usually say I start between like 8. I usually open the app at 8 o'clock. And I will say the first week I had a ton of orders pop up right at 8 o'clock, and I was able to I ended up going to the same store, PCC in Fremont. And so that was like my morning routine. Like it just happened that I accepted orders at that store. I usually go from about 8 until I can get about 3 orders in. If I go quick, I can get 4 in, but I usually stop around 11 or a little before 11, because if I start an order past 11, I will not make it to work on time.
Yeah.
I don't want to be that person that's like, hey, I was late trying to do a side hustle. But yeah, I usually do it for about 3.5, on average, 3.5 hours every day before work. And it's an insane amount of money if you are in a city with a really dense population. Also a very affluent population, because there are different areas in Seattle, different areas everywhere, you know. But I do try to go to more affluent areas where I know that the potential to tip is a lot higher.
Yeah.
Okay,
so tell us, like, how do you get paid? Do you get paid, like if you were to accept an order, are you getting like a base rate plus their tip, or is it just the tip only? Sorry, that sounds bad.
No, you're good. Let me actually see if I can open one up without like showing all my information.
Yeah.
Let me I'll find this one. Okay, so I don't know if I'll be able to show you guys really. So like right here.
Yeah, we see it. Okay.
$54.60. And then it shows like the route that I took right there.
Is that for one order?
That's for one order.
You made $54 on one order?
Yes.
How much of that was the tip?
So I will show you right here. I don't know if it will really
$16.81.
So I made $16.81 on a customer tip, and then Instacart pays you, it depends, but for this one Instacart paid $37.79. And then that also includes the distance that you have to drive from the store to the person's residence. So it's whether it's a house or an apartment or a dorm. They pay 60 cents a mile, and I drove 1.2 miles. So that was factored into it. I will show you guys a different one. And these are all batches. So a batch is another word for an order. These are all orders that I have done.
Yeah.
I'll show you this. So this is real. I made $877.
13th through the 19th. I'm like, what are those days? The 13th through the 19th.
The 13th through the 19th. So I think that was
Monday through Sunday. So that's a 1 week, Monday through Sunday. What was that again?
$877.
For how much time?
So I was online for 24 hours and 19 minutes. So if I go 877 divided by 24, so essentially it's like $37-ish an hour.
That's pretty good.
Some orders take a lot longer than others, and some orders you finish like that. But let me find a really good day.
Yeah, I mean, that's $37 an hour. You know, if somebody needs work right now and they, Instacart is in their area, and potentially a lot of orders are around for them, that's pretty dang good.
Yes, and there is another order I did for $65.
Yeah.
And my husband let me just go back, rewind. You cannot do Instacart with anyone who isn't also already an Instacart shopper. So my husband, he has signed up, he's cleared, clean driving record. So he is an Instacart shopper as well. Like he has the badge, the card, all that. So I will say for anyone listening, watching, you cannot do Instacart with people. You can't have anybody help you who is not a cleared Instacart shopper. So I just want to make sure everybody knows that.
So could you guys accept, since he's like also one, could you accept orders and be fulfilling orders at the exact same time?
We technically could.
Yeah.
The only caveat with that would be like where the order needs to be delivered to.
Right. Mm-hmm.
So if say we're at QFC,
Mm-hmm.
for those of you who don't know, that's like Kroger or Fred Meyer who don't live in Washington or Pacific Northwest. So say the store is right here, but then my order is over here and his order is like in Timbuktu. We could do it if like both of our orders were in the same direction, but I don't want to risk that because he's newer and I love him. He's behind this wall, but he takes a little longer than I do. I'm not trying to brag again, but I've gotten very, very fast and efficient at my shopping strategy. And so, I mean, we definitely could. I would help him get faster though first.
Right. Okay. So, we have a great question and a super chat from Melissa, Vandy's Closet. Thank you, Melissa. Appreciate it. Melissa wants to know, is there a restriction on the age of your car? So I'm going to tack onto that. So answer that question, but also can you tell us like, what are the requirements that you need to do to be a driver?
Yes. So the make, model, age, miles, what look of your car does not matter. I mean, I would definitely recommend that your car runs and you feel safe in it. If you have a car that breaks down, I would not recommend doing that. Like one of our cars that we are paying off at the moment. So there's no restriction on what kind of car you use for Instacart.
Okay.
I think there was a second part of your question. I did not.
Oh, are there any other, sorry, maybe you said it too, because I was just thinking about all the answers.
Like how to get cleared and all like.
Yeah, like do you have to have like no tickets? Do you have to be a certain age?
Yeah, so I'm going to be very honest. In college, I had a couple speeding tickets.
Who didn't?
So I had a couple speeding tickets. They are on my record. So the way that signing up for Instacart works is you sign up for it, and then it takes between a couple days to a week to get your background check cleared, and then to also get your driving record back clear. Or not clear, but I think you can't have like a DUI or like a misdemeanor or felony, anything crazy on your record. So those are really the only two things. And what is nice about it, they also send you a copy of that report to your email as well. So you can have a copy and see it. And so I got mine back and I was like, oh, yep, that happened. I was still cleared to work, which is great.
Fabulous.
Yeah. So they don't care about what your car looks like as long as, probably don't have it covered in dog hair or cat hair.
Right. Yeah, that makes sense. Okay, so how quickly after you apply on the app, which let's plug this real quick, what is your referral code? And I'll put it in the description later. Do you know it?
Yes, it's B Smathers, so BSMATHERS 2717.
Wait, hold on. BS. I'm going to type it. Mathers.
Let me
just hold it up on the screen.
You would be able to see this if it's backwards.
Oh my gosh, it's so long. Can't you make it shorter? 27170. I think I typed it correctly. Okay, so if you guys want to use Brittany's referral code because you appreciate her sharing all this information, please check that out. So I just put it in the chat right now, but I'll put it in the description of the video afterwards. Okay, so sorry, I don't know what my question was. Oh, how quickly do you get approved?
Yes, so I think I got approved in about a week, maybe a little bit less, but it was about a week, maybe like 5 days. And I will tell you guys this, once you get approved, you can either wait for your card to come. You have a physical card. It's green, very bright green. While you wait for your card, if you have Apple Pay, if you have an iPhone and you have Apple Pay, you can use that before you get your physical card. And I didn't know that. So I was just sitting there for like another week because I got approved. And then I think a week later, I received my card in the mail and I was like, yay, I can use it. And I also waited like 3 days to start actually accepting orders and registering my card after I got it. So I would say if you want to do this, do it. Don't wait.
So the card, for those who might not understand, so the card, once you get the card, that's basically the money is on there. But if you don't have the card and you're waiting on it, you're basically fronting the money for all these transactions?
No. So I'll show you guys here. So in my Apple Wallet, I have my InstaCart card right there.
Right.
One of the big questions I've had and the concern around people like not wanting to start Instacart is they think that they have to front their own money. And I'm like, no. Because I've had some orders that are over $400 and I'm like, I promise you, I'm not out here, 400, 280, 300. So you don't have to put any of your own money in, which is great. I won't say the name of the food delivery app, but there's another food delivery app that I use, and the card didn't work 3 times, and it was super embarrassing because I went to Panda Express to pick up the food and it didn't work. But InstaCart, their card works every single time. I've been very grateful and surprised, no problems. Like the card. So yeah, no money up front. You can use your Apple Pay. It's a MasterCard. So the InstaCart card, it's a MasterCard when it comes, and it's a MasterCard on your iPhone. So
okay. And have you had, some people are saying that they've heard some stores won't accept the Apple or Google Pay. Have you had that issue yet or no?
So if you are waiting for your card to come and you want to use I don't know if Google Pay I don't know. I know Apple Pay is on there. I don't know if Google Pay is on there. Well, it might be. But they won't give you batches. A batch is another word for an order. They won't give you batches that don't accept Apple Pay.
Okay.
They won't do that.
Got it. Okay.
And they won't send you to a store that doesn't accept the card or isn't a part of InstaCart, which is really nice.
Okay. All right. That's good to know. Okay. What other questions before I look to the questions that people sent into me? Do they send you anything else? Like, do you get like a bag to like bag up orders or?
So I was super excited. Maybe it's just me. I get like overly excited about things. They sent me this little badge. So it's green. I would grab it, but I'm like kind of huddled in a mess of clothes.
No worries. We all are.
And like my lights right now. Yeah, they sent me this green lanyard and it says InstaCart all around it. And then it has, you can't, like, it doesn't have any use other than like aesthetic. So it's like this green card. It has a carrot on a white carrot for InstaCart that just hangs off of your lanyard so that people in the grocery store, like the cashiers and like the people stocking the shelves, they know that you're an InstaCart worker. And a lot of people like look out for you and they're like, oh, hey, can I help you? What can I help you find? Because surprisingly, a lot of those people have also done InstaCart, which I thought was cool. But yeah, they send you a lanyard and then they send you your card and you can purchase insulated bags through, I say bags, instead of bags, so that you can purchase bags through the InstaCart app. And I just did that. I actually had somebody in a store who was also doing InstaCart approach me, and because he noticed that I was doing InstaCart and look at my phone, and he was like, hey, have you like done Costco yet? How do you like Costco? And I was like, I haven't done any Costco. And he told me once you buy the insulated bags on the app, you have a higher chance of getting Costco orders. I purchased them that night, and then I got like 10 Costco orders popped up the next day, and I accepted one. So yeah, you get a lanyard, and then you get your card, and then you can choose. You're not obligated to. It's like $26, I think, to purchase 2 big green insulated bags through the app.
Okay. So what happens if you're in a store and items are not showing up that the customer wants? What do you do?
Yeah. So do you mean like if they have a whole list and say like toilet paper isn't at the store?
Sure. Yeah. Or like they wanted ragu tomato sauce and you only see Newman's Own.
Yeah. So what happens is when you open the app and you accept a batch, it takes you to the store. Once you're at the store, you can see the entire list of items that they are requesting. And
Mm-hmm.
I don't have an order up right now. Otherwise, I would totally show you guys. You can, if you say there's a certain type of pasta sauce that they put on the list, but it's out because
Yeah.
everyone and their dog is buying pasta and pasta sauce right now. You
Mm-hmm.
can't find the item, and
Yeah.
then it gives an approved list of replacement items that the customer is okay with.
Okay.
So say Newman's Own is the only one there. You can look in the list, and if you see
Mhm.
Newman's Own, awesome. I click that, and then you can just scan it. All you have to do is scan the barcode. I
Mhm.
really, I yeah, it's so easy. Like I really,
Okay.
yeah.
So, what about, because I know that just from watching your Instagram stories the other day that didn't somebody like make a change after the fact? Did you have an order the other day? Am I getting you or somebody else's stories mixed up? I swear that it was like after you left.
Yes, 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 yes. That was in Ballard, actually, at Fred Meyer. This is sad that I know like every detail of everything. Yeah, so it was at Fred Meyer, and the lady had wanted a certain pesto sauce, and it
Hmm.
was like a refrigerated pesto sauce, and this person had also wanted a lot of organic, really fresh foods, and I was like, oh, cool, perfect. I will get you
Hmm.
your vegetables and fruits.
Hmm.
So I got a replacement pasta sauce from the suggested replacements, but she didn't want it. But she let
Hmm.
me know after I'd already checked out because the
Yeah.
customer can message you through the app. It's really nice. You don't like have to text them on from your personal number. She messaged me through the app saying, "Oh, we don't want that. Just get some fresh basil instead."
Yeah.
And I had to say, "I'm so sorry. I
Mhm.
got this." And the communication was a little off because she had, I guess, put her phone down, maybe to charge, or she was doing
Mhm.
dishes. So that the communication on that one order was a little bit off, and she told me after the fact. But
Mhm.
everyone is totally okay if you get one item on accident that they didn't want, because people are so thankful that you are just going to the grocery store for them.
Totally. Okay, so what about tips? Now, I know a hot topic for a while was about getting like tip baited.
Hmm.
Has that happened to you? Or is it more just noise in the atmosphere?
Yes. So I know Reezy had put up a video,
Hmm.
I
Okay.
believe, or post about like getting tip baited. I don't.
Mhm.
I think we've all coined the term tip baited now after those news articles came out. But I will say personally, myself, I have not seen that. I'm gonna knock on wood because watch
Yeah,
that happen all tomorrow.
I know.
No, I haven't seen that happen.
Yeah.
The and you may have seen my Instagram story maybe like last week, but
Hmm.
the reason that I think that was out there is because people may have been requesting like mass quantities of items, like maybe 10 packages of toilet paper and four
Hmm.
Lysol containers, and like just like mass quantities or things that weren't in the store. And so
Hmm.
the shoppers were having to cancel. Um, and once you cancel things or you take things off the order, like say your tip was going to be $50
Hmm.
for like $300 worth of stuff, but if you can only find 150 of that, your tip's going to go down to like 25 or whatnot, because it's like, if you don't get all my stuff, I don't, there's no reason for me to tip you. Um, some people may feel like this, but there's
Yeah.
no reason, to give the entire tip if you don't get the entire order.
Right, because they're basing it, I mean, like, let's think, for instance, ordering at a restaurant, they're basing it off of a percentage.
Exactly. Yeah. Some people, I think, base it off a percentage. Other people will just kind of say, like, oh, I want to give them a $25 tip.
Right.
Um, so, yeah.
Okay, and then what about cash tips? Are you running into cash tips? Like, are people, I already know the answer to this, but are people like, when you go to deliver, are you finding cash on the doorstep or something like that?
Yeah, so for those of you who, if anybody in the chat has been following me, I've actually been doing at least the first couple weeks, super detailed like videos and like talking with it, like informational videos about Instacart and also the tips and being very forthcoming about everything.
Mm-hmm.
I will say, no, I don't get a lot of cash tips,
Mm-hmm.
but the first like week and a half I did,
Mm-hmm.
somebody left a $5 tip with like tape on it, saying thank you on their
Mm-hmm.
doorstep, because we're doing no contact delivery.
Yeah.
And then my very first order actually left me a $15 cash tip in an envelope taped to her door that said to my secret shopper, which
Aw,
was sweet. And then another lady tipped me $20 in the app and 40 in cash. And
nice.
I was like, this is great. So
Right.
I think I've had 3 or 4 cash tips, but the majority have been in the app. And all the cash tips that I've had are going into our like savings.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay, so oh, I had a question, but it's starting to slip my mind now. Oh, I know that when you open up the app in the morning, I know that you said that you're looking for orders over $50. What's your thought with that?
Yeah. So
Or is it, are you saying $50 in earnings? What's your thought process there?
yeah. So I'm gonna go back to like my first week. I was accepting orders right when they popped up. Um,
Hmm.
I would open the app and say, "Oh my gosh, I have a $30 order," and I would accept it. And the next order would be like a $34 order, and I would accept it. And as I continued on, I noticed that if you waited 3 or 4 minutes, you could get, depending on where you live, if you live in a city, you could get a much higher order.
Mm,
I had a $123 order that I missed because I hesitated for a second. But basically, I pointed out to myself that I do not really want to accept an order under 50 because I've seen firsthand how much time and energy can go into this and driving and
mhm,
thinking about your gas and like wear and tear in your car, and just like lifting things if things are heavy, um,
mhm.
and also putting yourself out there. I feel like it's my own hazard pay,
Right.
not accepting anything under 50 because I know what I'm worth and I know, I don't want to say I know what I'm worth because, if people only have like a $19 order in the
Right.
area, I that it's different because we're in different areas.
Yes.
Um, but if you are in an area where you can accept an $87 order like I did the other day,
Yeah.
I would wait those 3 or 4 minutes and accept that. So I've just learned that I can get those higher numbers.
And is it starting to get more competitive? Are you finding that?
Yes. I'm going to be very upfront, especially in the Seattle area, because so many people, again, we're a dense population. So many people have been laid off from their jobs
Yeah.
in our area because it's such a huge city, greater Seattle area. I think a lot of people are turning to Instacart and other food delivery options because they're very viable right now. Um,
Mhm.
I will say on the app, if you see an order for over $80 and you hesitate for zero point 0.2 seconds, you will not get it. Somebody
Mm,
else has grabbed it. Like people are grabbing it. I've started to see the same couple people doing Instacart at different
mhm,
stores. And it's crazy because I'll see them in Green Lake, but then I'll
mhm.
see them in Fremont, and then I'll
Yeah.
see them in like the University Village. And
Mhm.
I'm like, hey, I've seen that person before. Definitely becoming a little more competitive. And I will
Mhm.
say, if you want to sign up for Instacart, you're not obligated by any means to use my referral code. It'd be awesome though. But I would say sign up as soon as you can because there are some areas that are not hiring on any more drivers right now because of the demand has gone down because
Okay.
Instacart has hired on over 300,000 new shoppers.
Wow, that's insane. Yeah, that's what I figured. I was like, "Oh man, it's gonna start to get saturated at some point."
Mhm.
I would think. Okay, let me look here to my questions. What is there anything that I haven't asked you that you're like, Denali, you need to know this?
Um, I keep telling people, and I'm not even trying to say, hey, use my referral code, hey, sign up. But I keep telling people this is
Yeah.
like one of the easiest ways I've ever had to make money. Like Poshmark, I feel like I'm more seasoned in like reselling and with brands and all of that because I am a reseller first before doing Instacart.
Yeah.
But it's just like, this is like one of the easiest ways I've ever had to make money because it's like, I see how much I'm going to make. I know where I'm going. I know how long it's going to take roughly. And I can choose to say yes or no. It's so easy.
Yeah, no, definitely. I mean, it's quick money. How often or how quick do you get paid out?
So you can choose to cash out immediately. Like say you are tight on money and you're like, I need gas.
Yeah.
Like some people have, like I've been there. So if you want to do that, you can do an order, say a $65 order, and whatever the Instacart payment is, that's a guaranteed payment. You can cash that out immediately after for a 50-cent fee. But your customer tips get cashed out on Mondays.
Okay. Got it. Okay, so they get cash. Okay, so it works two different ways. So the money from Instacart you can get immediately. Cash, customer tips, you've got to wait till Monday. I'm guessing that you have to wait till Monday is because they have a few days to adjust their tip. Is that right?
Exactly. They have up to 3 days to adjust their tip. But it's kind of weird because if I do an order on like on Saturday, all of the customer tips get cashed out on Monday. So I don't know if they actually have 3 days. I mean, it says they have 3 days, but yeah, if I do an order on Saturday, all of my customer tips have been cashed out by Monday.
Oh, okay. Interesting. Okay, so let me look. Okay, so I'm not going to use people's usernames because I don't know if they wanted me to say them, but somebody asked, they said, as a woman, I'm nervous about delivering. Any tips on precautions you take to stay safe?
Yes. So I do no contact delivery and I do not do it when it's dark out.
So wait, before you keep going, is that an option to do contact or no contact deliveries?
So I do it regardless. Some customers in their comments or in their like instructions or directions, they will say, we would like a no contact delivery. Please leave on the doorstep or please leave slightly in the garage to the left of this. But even if it doesn't say no contact delivery, I'm not talking to people. I'm seeing them more than I need to. So I don't engage with people more than I need to. I just drop it at the doorstep and you can take a picture to say, hey, I delivered it. And you can also message them in the app to say, hey, I'm pulling up, dropping stuff off. For the most part, people are super respectful of not wanting, like respecting you, not wanting to engage with them. The only time you do have to see, and I say see in quotes, a customer is for alcohol. So if you also, I think you have to be over 21 to do Instagram.
Got it. That makes sense.
Yeah. So
if somebody has alcohol, you do have to see the person in person?
You do, but there's another caveat to that. You can you have to scan the back of their driver's license, but you can do it through a window.
Oh, interesting. That's funny.
So I thought about that once and I was like, maybe I can scan it through the window. So I messaged the person when I said, hey, I can just scan your license through the window. But there was kind of a glare, so it took like 12 seconds. It was better than them opening the door and because some people don't wear masks. I choose to wear a mask. I follow the CDC guidelines myself personally. And so I wear a mask every time. I hand sanitize and all of that. But yeah, the only time you have to interact with customers is in person, is to scan their ID for alcohol.
Okay. All right. Okay. Somebody asked, do you get repeat customers or is it just random? Or can you get repeat customers? Is that even possible?
I think you can. It's random. I haven't had a repeat customer. Thank you to whoever just signed up. Thank you, Anna.
Yay!
Yeah, so you can get repeat customers, I think, but it's definitely 100% random.
Okay, got it. Somebody asked what requirements are needed. We answered that. I think we know the answer to this. I'm going to say it again anyways. Can you decide how many clients you want to take in a day or week?
Yes. So the really nice thing is you can set all of your own hours. If you want to work for like an hour and a half and turn your app off, you can. If you want to work from 8 a.m. until whenever all the stores close, you can also do that. So you can 100% set your own hours, just like I set my own hours when I get into Seattle at 8 and I stop at 11. You have orders pop up. You can turn your notifications on and they will pop up on your screen like this right here. So I think that's called a push notification. That's also my nephew with my dog. But yeah, you set all of your own hours and you can also turn off your notifications so that you don't get those notifications of, hey, you have a new order available. Or you can go into your app and do it that way. So I've turned my notifications off at sometimes because I have a hard time with stopping work and just taking a me time, like a me moment.
Yeah.
But it's 100% you set your own hours.
Yeah. Okay, cool. I think that's why it's appealing too, is like you literally can like, I mean, you want to start working, you turn on your phone. You want to stop working, you turn off your phone. I think that's nice. Let's see. I'm looking at the other question. Somebody wanted to know, what's the biggest Instacart order you've had?
Ooh, like what I've got paid or what? Let me do both.
Yeah,
So
let's do both.
I got paid and then the biggest like money order that I've had. So I think the biggest like dollar amount order was over $400 of groceries. And in my head, I was like, this person has 10 kids or they're really hungry. So there's an order over $400. And then I think my biggest one was 80. It was supposed to be 87, but it went, or 89, but it went down to 87 because I couldn't find a few items, and then the tip automatically adjusts.
Got it.
Yeah.
Okay. So the tip, they're not always changing the tip. It might just, if they have it set to auto adjust based on a percentage, it just might be adjusting in that way.
Right. Yeah. I've had people message me actually who have been on the customer side.
Yeah.
Which is nice to hear from them because I put out questions on my story and said, I don't know about this. And then people have reached out. They have, they've clarified some things on the customer side. And they said that sometimes the tip automatically adjusts. And so they leave a cash tip because they're not sure why that happens.
Got it. Okay. My friends Tiffany and Hugo, Sell Quick, Ship Quick, they asked, what's the weirdest item in an order you've been asked to pick up?
So I put
That's appropriate.
Yeah, I put this on my story the other day. It was canned sardines in hot sauce. Maybe that's just weird to me.
Yeah, I'm like, that's not so bad.
I don't eat any fish. Like my mom's been trying to get me to eat fish since I was like 2, and I'm not a fish person at all. But yeah, I thought that was pretty strange. And then today it was really strange. I had an order with, I think it was 10 boxes of like carbonated flavored water. And then the person,
like, that would be me.
and then the person also wanted like 10 boxes of whole grain waffles. So
Brittany, that could have been my order. That sounds delicious to me.
But I think it was weird to me because the whole situation was kind of weird. Yeah, it was. Yeah.
So. Okay. All right. Let's see. What do you think? Okay. Somebody asked, what do you think is the biggest challenge with Instacart?
The biggest challenge? Oh, I think my biggest challenge would be turning my phone off. Like, I'm not even just saying that because I can't think of anything else to say.
Yeah.
It really is turning my phone off. Like yesterday, I think it was yesterday, I had to take the morning off, especially with being quarantined and not being able to go out and tan or not being able to go swim or go to Yellowstone or just have a break, just doing the same thing every single day, dropping my husband off and going to work, or doing it and going to work, and just doing that 5 days a week and having nothing really to break it up for me. I think the hardest thing is just turning my phone off and just giving myself a break.
Okay. I think it's hilarious that you said tanning, going to the pool, and Yellowstone. First of all, tanning and going to the pool, that's not very northwest of you. That doesn't sound like Washington. And going to Yellowstone, I mean, you make it sound like that's a daily adventure.
I know. Well, the thing is, we were planning on doing like a vacation this summer to Yellowstone or Disneyland.
Okay, got it.
That was And then also I need to go lay in the sun. I need to tan
Sure.
and I can't. And
Well, it's gonna be nice on Friday, so there you go. There's something to look forward to.
I know. I've been walking around Green Lake, which is really nice.
Yeah, that is nice. You're in that area, I guess, when you're doing orders and stuff. See, I would think for me, I would think I'd want to be doing it all the time. Do you have that feeling?
I do.
Of just like,
Yep.
I mean, I guess having your regular full-time job kind of forces you to stop doing it for the day. But like, I feel like the minute I was done with the daycare work, I'd be like, I'm ready. Let's do it again.
I am, but I have to go pick up my husband, so I can't. So
Yeah.
I get off around 4:00-ish, and I have to go drive 30 minutes to pick him up by 4:30. Otherwise, we have 2 dogs. Otherwise, I totally would be like, get in the car. We're gonna go Instacarting. Let's go. But stopping myself is my biggest issue.
So at this point, are you doing it 7 days a week or what's your schedule?
Yeah, so my schedule is whenever I can do it. I will say I'm a little bit addicted just because it's such easy money.
Right.
So I try to take off at least one day. Usually it's Sunday because Sunday I found either a lot of people are shopping for customers and batches just don't pop up, or people just only ordering on Sunday.
Yeah.
So yeah.
Okay. I know today that you had a little bit of a frustrating situation because it's not all peaches and cream. You were pretty upset in your stories. I think you've had time to calm down now, but you want to tell us like, this is like an example of what a frustration could be as somebody who's picking and being a delivery driver for Instacart. So tell us about it.
Yeah. So I started kind of getting into it a little bit earlier, and I was like, I'll be quiet. I'll save that for later. So what had happened with the carbonated flavored water and waffle order, this person had ordered so much stuff and it was so heavy. I swear, like those boxes of the water weigh like 5+ pounds each, and she ordered like 10 boxes. So I was already like, oh my gosh, this is so much. It was a $50 order, so I accepted it, but I didn't know all that stuff was going to be in it. I got the person's address, and there were 3 different apartment complexes, kind of stacked on a steep hill. And I messaged the person because she had put a number of an apartment, but there is one entire apartment complex under construction, and there were forklifts going in and out carrying like giant bars and cars wrapped in plastic. And I was like, where's this lady's apartment? And so I messaged her through the app and I said, hey, like, I'm here, but there's nowhere to pull in. And like, which apartment is it? And she said, it's under construction. And I was like, yes, I know it's under construction, but like, how do I get in? Because I tried the doors. It's one of those apartments. I don't know if I assume they have these in other places than Washington. One of those apartments where you can, so you park in a carport, and then to even get into the apartment building, you have to go through a door. And there's like a few doors, they were all locked, and there was really nowhere to pull in. There were numbered spots, so I didn't want to be that person who took someone's spot.
Yeah.
And yelled at. And so I texted her and I was like, I can't get in. All these doors are locked. I don't know. I said it very nicely and eloquently. I don't know how to get in, where you are. And she was very short in her answer. She just said, hey, it's completely under construction. The next message was like, go find my Toyota RAV4. It's parked 3 spaces in on a very steep hill right off of this street. And I go look, and there's like 10 steep hills. There's no car. It turned out the car was like in a carport. And I was the entire time in my mask, I was like, oh my gosh, I can't believe she's doing this. This is the last order of the day. So after that, we took, like, it's not all peaches and cream. I will, 99% of it is, but oh my goodness, I had to take the day after that and just like walk around the lake. And I was like, I'm done.
I know. I felt for you when I saw that, because for anybody who doesn't know the Seattle area, this is not flatland. Like, it is known for hills. We have a lot of them. And so for somebody to tell you I'm on the hill is like saying I'm near the air.
Yes. Yeah. Yeah.
Like, it kind of doesn't mean a lot. So yeah, that could definitely be a challenge. I'm curious. I want to open it up to the chat. Does anybody have questions for Brittany that I haven't asked her yet? I know that there was a question earlier while we're waiting for some questions to come in. I know somebody had a question earlier about Costco. What if you don't have a Costco card?
So the nice thing about InstaCart Costco orders is there's a Costco card on there. I have a Costco card, but when I went in, I just showed them my phone and it had the Costco card on there, and they accepted it. I was like, that's cool. So you don't have to front your own Costco card or anything like that. It's already on the app.
You know, it would be nice if they had, like, I'm just thinking, obviously I haven't done Instacart, but you know, Costco can sometimes have some really long lines. It would be really nice if they had a dedicated Instacart line.
So they say that they do, and they
Oh,
probably do. In the app,
okay.
they say they do. There are also dedicated hours. So I think you can go in at 6 a.m. before
Oh.
everyone, and then
Mhm.
I think you can shop like an hour or two after they close just for Instacart, which is nice.
Wait, you
Yeah.
could shop after they close too? Wow.
Before and after. My sister actually, I got her into Instacart too on the east side of the state. So
Mhm.
she did a Costco order and she was freaking out because she got there and said that they were about to close. And she was
Yeah,
like, why did this lady order if they're about to close the store? But
right.
they closed like an hour after, 30 minutes or an hour after
Yeah,
they actually closed.
got it. Okay, and your sister, who you said is on the east side of the state, like, are we talking like she's in Eastern Washington?
Yeah. Yeah. So she is over in Spokane.
Okay, so that's actually a great example because I know that some people in the chat have been saying, like, I wonder what it would be like in my city or state.
Mhm.
Perhaps they live in like a more rural area. So, Eastern Washington, Spokane, for instance, is a larger city in Eastern Washington, but still a smaller city.
Yeah.
So, what is it like for her? Is she struggling to get orders? Does she get orders?
She, I would say at first, struggled a little bit,
Mhm.
but now, I think now she has kind of figured out like the areas and what store to go wait at, because sometimes you do have to go wait at a store. Like I am pretty close to kind of the middle of nowhere.
Yeah.
So I get all those middle of nowhere orders
Mhm.
or like no orders. So she I would say she has orders pop up. They aren't $87 orders. She did get a $54 order yesterday, but they're
Yeah.
definitely not like close to 100 over like Seattle.
Got it. Okay. Here's a question from Murray Life. She said, "What foods do you want to try now that you've been exposed to so many things? Is there
That's
anything that you're seeing?"
Yeah, so I want to try all of the $100 meats at they're really nice, like the Metropolitan Market. I have tried one of the it's like a garlic crostini. So we got garlic crostinis and then a tapenade, like
Mm,
an tapenade, and just like some stuff from it's like a Whole Foods if you guys have Whole Foods where you are, but I think Metropolitan, have you been to Metropolitan
yeah.
Market?
Yeah.
I feel like it's more bougie than Whole Foods,
Yes.
like slightly.
Um, yeah, it's a nice grocery store. Brittany is shopping at a lot of the nice grocery stores in Seattle.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. So I want to try everything at Metropolitan Market, and everything at PCC. Yeah.
Yeah. Again, another great local higher end grocery store. Okay, this is a good question. Mindy wanted to know, how are you finding time to balance reselling, or are you?
I'm not gonna lie, I have not been reselling. I have stuff up, and I think I also have stuff up that is in a giant pile that I'm looking at right now that I'm not
Mhm.
gonna go through at the
Yeah.
moment.
Uh-huh.
Um, I have not been reselling because I've been working during this situation and it's a little bit more stressful. And I've found Instacart right now um, to be more lucrative. I don't want to say lucrative, but it's easier money because
Mhm.
I'm in my car already in the morning
Right.
and I just go. Like reselling by the time I get home right now, just really during this time,
Yeah.
I'm just like, I can't
Yeah.
do it right now.
Yeah.
So
Yeah. No, I get it. I mean, and it's like, I don't want to say it's guaranteed money, Instacart is, but it is. I mean, assuming you accept an order,
yeah.
you know what I mean? Like, you're going to get paid for it. Um, Sell Quick, Ship Quick wants to know, can you shop for yourself as you shop for an order?
Yes, I would say you can't shop like an entire grocery trip,
Mhm.
but I definitely have picked up flowers and chocolates, I think Monday for
Mhm.
one of my coworkers whose birthday was Saturday. And I did that order first. And then I said, hey, I have an Instacart. I'm doing this order first. It's my personal.
Gotcha.
And she was like, don't you want to do it at the end? Most people who do Instacart and have a personal order do it at the
Mhm.
end. I said,
Okay.
either way, whatever works. But yeah, you can't shop for yourself. Just make it like a smaller order or like not ice cream that's going to melt.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah.
You said that, you've accepted orders. Oops, sorry. You've accepted orders in the past and then you see a better one come through. So once you accept an order, you can't unaccept an order?
Right. So, well, you can cancel it. I think I've canceled two so far. The first one I canceled, um, I accepted it selfishly, I want to say. So I noticed it was too far. It was like a $66 order my first week. And I was like,
Yeah,
that's a lot of money because
right.
I've been doing $30 orders. And then I looked at the distance and how much time it would take and what was in
Yeah,
the order. And I was going to be late to work and I
got it.
couldn't do that. So yeah, I
Is- Can you
canceled.
get penalized for doing that too often?
One. I have a cancellation rate of 2%, I believe, right now. I
Got it.
think if you hit a threshold, a certain threshold, then you will be put on more of like a bottom tier for batch priority. So like
Got
you
it.
get batches like offered to you after a certain amount of time, maybe if people don't accept them.
Got
So
it.
if you continuously cancel, then
Hmm.
it will affect you. But if you cancel once or twice for personal reasons, or if you decide, oh, that's way too far, or I don't want to do that, you totally can.
Okay. Here's a question. Caitlin says, is batch availability still pretty good in Seattle area? I'm farther south and less batches are starting to show up. You can't even hesitate on a batch in the 20s. So I'm not sure if Caitlin just showed up or not, but Brittany lives in the South End and she's fulfilling. So she's driving and fulfilling orders. So you want to just kind of give a quick summary?
I will ask if Caitlin is still on. If you do you live like more south than Renton? Like do you live like further like Kent, below Kent? And while she's typing, so right now I have no batches available. If
Oh,
you
so that's in your area.
So my area right now, it's also 7 o'clock.
Sure. Right.
So I have no batches available. Most of the time, I don't have any batches available near me in this area.
Mhm. Yeah.
Because as I mentioned a little bit earlier, I kind of live where the batches are in Timbuktu. Like I don't want to call it Timbuktu, but like Maple Valley,
Yeah.
more rural areas. So people out there, I think they are either going to the grocery store themselves or
Hmm.
already stocked up. So I
Gotcha.
think in the South End, I don't want to speak for everybody in the South End, but if you are not directly near a grocery store, I don't think you're going to get as many orders. So I would recommend if you can and have access to drive to any part of Seattle that is more densely populated, I would definitely do that or buy a PCC.
Okay, so so what I'm hearing is that you can literally hop in your car and it's all location based. So if I were to drive into Seattle right now, open up the app, I would potentially see orders in there.
Yes, I will say since it is seven, oh, she said Olympia and Tacoma. I don't know about Olympia and Tacoma because that is pretty far for me. I think Olympia is
Mhm.
like 3 hours for me.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I'm not 100% sure. I know
Yeah.
Seattle is a bit farther for you than me, and I'm already going to be in Seattle for work.
Yeah.
Um, but yeah, if there's like even a Whole Foods or actually Whole Foods, I think is doing Amazon Fresh. So I don't think they're doing Instacart.
Right.
But if there's like a wealthier uh, community or like
Mhm.
one of like a Whole Foods or something like that in your area, I would sorry, not Whole Foods, like a Safeway or something, just like
Mhm.
camp out in their parking lot because sometimes you don't get orders at your house.
And I'm also curious just for you, and obviously this is like based on our location because we live near each other. We're in the same state of Washington. For you, like, wouldn't it be beneficial to maybe fulfill orders in like Bellevue or Issaquah? Because I'm thinking of like wealthier areas. Have you gone and done orders there?
Yeah, so the 132 or $123 order that I hesitated on, that was actually in Issaquah.
Okay.
Um, and I've gone up to Issaquah, I think it was last Sunday, and I
Yeah.
sat there for like 10 minutes, and I think I maybe got like one $19 order, and it wasn't worth it for me because
Yeah.
I had to drive like 5 miles to deliver it.
Yeah.
So I Bellevue, I haven't really found to be super lucrative, or Issaquah. So
Interesting.
it is interesting. I
Mhm.
think because I'm already in Seattle, Issaquah and Bellevue would be kind of out of the way.
Yeah.
So everything is like 5 minutes in Seattle where I'm at from like my job. If I go overtime and I'm like, oh, I need to go to my job right now.
Hmm.
Yeah, I found Bellevue and Issaquah, even though I thought they would be super lucrative, it's
Yeah.
not.
Okay. Okay, before we wrap up here, what advice would you give yourself almost a month ago when you were first starting Instacart?
I would say don't hesitate. That's what I've been telling everyone. Like,
Mhm.
sign up, even if you're not sure it's something you 100% want to do, you can still sign up and get background checked and everything in case you do want to start. Then you're not kicking yourself for saying, oh my gosh, I could have made all this money, or
Yeah.
maybe I wanted to do this and it's something I can't do now because now I have to be on a wait list because there's so many people shopping. So I would say don't wait and sign up.
Okay, cool. Well, thank you, everyone. And thank you, Brittany, for talking with me today. We're kind of at the hour mark, and I want to respect your time and evening because I know that you had to work both your jobs today. So thank you, everyone, for joining us. If you do want to sign up for Instacart, seriously, if it's like available and there's not a wait list in your area, that is actually a really great piece of advice because Melissa, Vandy's Closet, who's in the chat, wherever the chat is, she is near me and she said that she just went and signed up now and it showed a wait list. So we are in a denser, more urbanish, suburbanish area. But if you're in an area where Instacart hasn't popped off yet, at least maybe create your account so
Yeah.
that if you want to explore it later, at least you'll have the option as opposed to just being on a wait list. So, but here's Brittany's referral code. Use it and abuse it. I thank you so much for being on with me, Brittany. And
For
thank you
inviting me.
everyone for joining us. Yeah. All right. Bye, everybody.
Bye.
Okay. Let's see.